Okay.
And come onto your mats. Right, so sit back on your heels and then place, not too far, and then place your left hand over your heart center and your right hand over your tummy, and close your eyes and then take one deep breath in and a big breath out. And then again, fill up your lungs, inhaling through your nose, and then exhale through your nose again. And just let your body settle into the rhythm of your breath, filling up the lungs all the way to the top every time you inhale, and then pushing everything out as you exhale. Just one more long breath in. And as you breathe out, open your eyes and place your hands on your thighs. Lift your shoulders up and then roll them back and then down. Start creating circles with your shoulders, going backwards and then down and then up again and then back and down. And then in the opposite direction. So bring your shoulders up and forward and down. Just release all the tensions that you might have built up in your shoulders today. If you were sitting at a desk working, studying, or just watching TV. Whatever you've done, just start moving the top half of your body. And then exhale and then relax it down. Take the breath in, extend your head, arms overhead, and then stretch, extend, get your spine long, and then breathe out and just release your shoulders down. And then one more up, stretch, stretch, and then release down. Bring your arms behind your back and interlace your fingers, and then open up your chest and lift your head. Take a nice deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, relax down, and then relax down as you breathe out. Come onto your hands and knees, tabletop. Shoulders and wrists are stacked on top of each other. Same for elbows and knees and hips. Nice deep breath in as you lower your belly and lift your head. And then breathe out, push your air out. Round your spine, lower your head. And then just find your own rhythm here. Just breathe in and then breathe out at your own pace. So rounding your back up as you exhale, and then lowering your belly down as you inhale. Just a little bit of mobilizing your spine as well. One more, and come back into tabletop. Bring your hips to the right hand side, and then back, and then to the left. Circle in your hips, and then clockwise direction. Nice and smooth. Just let your breath guide you here again. And try to keep the movement as smooth as possible. And then in the opposite direction. Again, mobilizing your spine. Moving it in lots of different directions. And then breathing at the same time. Just one more. And then come back again onto the tabletop. Extend your leg behind you and then lift it so it's parallel to the mat. And then extend your right arm. Find your balance. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring your knee and elbow together. Stay there for a second, One breath, and then inhale, and then bring them back close together. Inhale and extend. Exhale and bring knee and elbow together. One last inhale. Stay there. And then release your hands onto the mat. Keep your leg lifted and then start rotating from your hip. Drawing circles with your knee. So you're going all the way to the left, up, back down. And then again, open your hip, rotate back, and down. So the movement comes from the hip, doesn't come from the back. And then go into the opposite direction now. So you'll be rotating clockwise now. Again, try to keep the movement smooth and let it come from the hip socket. So you're mobilizing that joint. And then come back into the tabletop. Shake a little bit. And then extend. Right leg behind you. Lift it up so it's parallel to the mat. Left arm straight in front of you. Extended. Now straight line. Core engaged. Inhale. And then as you exhale, draw your knee and your elbow together. And then again, inhale, extend, exhale, draw them together. Inhale, extend, exhale, draw them together. And stay there for one full round of breath. Then release your hand on the mat. And then start circling your right hip as you did with the other one before. So opening up to the side, back, down. Just open as much as you can. Again, the movement coming from the hip socket. One more. And then in the opposite direction. Your hip might be clicking. My hip is definitely clicking. And then one last round. And then come back into tabletop. Shake it back. Engage your core. Come onto your toes and then lift your knees just 1 inch above the floor. So you're engaging the core. You're quite strong with this position. And you can make it a little bit harder by lifting 1 foot at a time. So you're only lifting the foot, not lifting the leg, just literally going from toes on the mat to foot pointed. So you're resting on 3 limbs. And you really have to engage your core quite hard here. And then down, and then swapping the other foot. Stay core engaged. And down. Back to tabletop. Take 1 deep breath. Back into your, tucking your toes under. And then push back into downward facing dog. So, feet are on the mat. Press your heels down as much as you can. If you find it hard, you can also slightly bend your knees. Your hands, your arms are extended. Your hands are pressing on the mat. Your hands and your fingers are spread wide. And your tailbone is pointed up. You can start pedaling your dog by bending your knees one by one, alternating. You're immobilizing your spine, mobilizing your legs, start stretching your hamstring a little bit more. Remember to breathe as you're doing this. And then start rolling towards the front into a plank position and lower yourself down onto the mat as slow as you can. And then completely down. Keep your hands on the side of your chest. And then lift up into baby cobra. Breath in. and release down as you breathe out. Tuck your toes under. Press yourself back into a downward facing dog. Nice, strong. Breathe in. As you breathe out, roll forward. And then calm down into a chaturanga, so bent elbows. Your elbows are a 90-degree. You're still suspended above the mat. And then push up into a forward facing dog. So you lift out off the mat and your arms are straight and your gaze is forward. Press back again into downward facing dog. And this time come onto your tippy toes and lift your right leg up to the sky into a three-legged dog. Both legs are straight, the hips are square, and then you bend your leg and you come forward and place your right foot just outside the right hand. So your right foot could be like on the side, on the edge of the mat, while your hands are a little bit inward. So your back leg is still straight. And then you start opening up your hips here. Lower your back knee onto the mat and untuck your toes. And you can stay here and then stretch the front of your hip and your hamstring. Or you can make it a little bit harder by pressing your right hand over your right knee and open up the hip this way. Breathe in, breathe out. Come back with both hands on the mat and rock back and forth. Just stretching your hip flexors, stretching your arm strings. You don't have to straighten the front leg completely. I'm actually struggling a bit myself in doing this. This is just about mobilizing your hip. Start stretching a little bit more. Come back into steady position. Tuck your toes under, straighten your leg. Press back into a downward facing dog again. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Let's lift the left leg up to the sky into a three-legged dog. Nice and steady. Hips are square. And then you come to the front and place your left foot just outside your left hand. Then again, your back legs are still straight at this point. Just start stretching and mobilizing your hips. And then lower your back knee onto the mat, untuck your toes. And then, if you're comfortable here, you can place your left hand to your left knee and then start pressing outwards, stretching your hips a little bit more. Or you can just stay with both hands on the mat, depending on what is comfortable for you. And then return with both hands on the mat and then start rocking back and forth to open up your hips. Then again, you're opening the front of your hip and you're stretching your hamstrings here at the same time, which is quite good for runners. And then come back into a high plank, lift your leg, push your other leg back. And just reach high plank. Take one deep breath here. Breathe out. And then bring your right leg again to the front with the right knee touching your right wrist into a pigeon position. So your right leg goes across your hips are square, so we're both facing forward, and both your hands are on the mat, and you're coming up. Gaze is forward, and you can further your stretch by coming down to your elbows. And if that feels comfortable, you can lower yourself all the way to the mat with your forehead on the mat. Just choose what is comfortable for you. You don't have to stretch all the way down if your hips are tight. You can stay here, or you can just go halfway. Just choose what is comfortable. Just Sink a little bit more into your hips, whichever of the three variations you've chosen. And then push your hands and your arms come all the way back up again. Now let's switch leg. So tuck your toes under, lift your back leg, push your right leg back, and then swap. So come with the left leg to the front. Left knee touches your left wrist. And then press your body up. Let your hips sink. And then again, you can stay here, or you can come up down to your elbows, or you can lower all the way onto the mat with your forehead resting on the mat. Just make sure you're keeping your hips square so they're both facing forward. And then try and sink a little bit deeper every time you exhale. So take one deep breath in. And as you breathe out, try to sink a little bit more. And then press again, coming all the way back up. Press back into a plank position. And then walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. And then come into a forward fold, but cross your left foot behind your right foot. So you're into a crossed forward fold. Your left leg is behind your right leg. And then you're bending forward. So this is a stronger stretch for your hamstrings and the back of your legs. And then inhale as you lift into a halfway lift. You can place your hands on the mat, or if you do the halfway lift, or you can place them on your shins. And then exhale and fold forward. Then again, inhale. And then exhale and bend forward into a forward fold. One more here. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you release into a forward fold, uncross your legs. And then skip both of them straight and the feet parallel. Then sweep your arms to the side and come up into a standing position with your arms extended above your head. Stretch, keep your spine long. Then open up to the side into a twist with your left arm coming forward and your right arm going back. And you're gazing towards your right arm, your right hand. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, try and stretch the twist and open the chest a little bit more. And then come back into center. And then rotate in the opposite direction, opening up to the left. And then again, breathe in. And as you breathe out, try and push the twist a little bit more. Come back into center. Sink back into a chair. So it's almost like you're sitting up in the air and your arms are still extended above your head. And when you're in a chair, if you look down, you need to be able to see your toes. If you don't, it means that you're leaning too much forward. Then you have to lean a little bit more backward. Stay here. I know it's hard. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. So extend your arms behind. Brilliant. Just a couple of rounds of breath. In and out. And breathe in. Breathe out. It's burning, I know. Then lift your arms again to the front. And then release into a forward fold. And stretch your legs. Now bring your right foot behind your left foot. So you're doing a crossed leg forward fold in the opposite crossing as we did earlier. And then halfway lift as you inhale. Again, you can place your hands on the mat. You can place them on your shins. Try not to round your back too much. Try to keep your back flat or a bit more straight. You might want to press your hands on the shins. And then as you exhale, come again to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale into forward fold. Uncross your legs. And start rolling your back up. Slowly, vertebra by vertebra. And your head is the last thing that comes up. And then open up your shoulders. Arms of your hands are facing forward. Deep breath in. Shift your weight onto your left leg and lift your right leg. And then place your ankle over your knee, your right ankle over your left knee. And sink back into a chair. And bring your hands to your heart center into a prayer position. Stay there. If you find this easy, you can make it harder by folding forward all the way until your right knee is basically in your right armpit. Or you can stay here, which is strong enough. One more breath, and then release. Come back up into standing. Check your hands a little bit, legs a little bit. Shift your weight onto your right leg, lift your left leg, place your left ankle over your right knee, and then sit back into this imaginary chair with your legs in the figure of four and your hands into prayer position. Stay strong. Again, you can make it harder by folding forward, or you can just stay up here, which is strong. It happens. I fold too, and then come back into standing. Fold forward again. Place your hands on the mat. Press your legs back into a high plank. And then lower yourself down into an elbow plank. There's a little bit of core work here. Keep your core engaged. Keep your glutes squeezed. Breathe in. And then breathe out. And press yourself back up onto a high plank. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, rotate to the side into a side plank on your right arm. So your feet are both on the mat, but you're resting on the side of your feet. And then inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale again. Exhale, come back into a high plank. Reset your breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, rotate to the opposite side. This time you're resting on your left arm. Pushing on your left arm. Try and lift your hips a little bit higher if you can. Breathe in. Breathe out. And return to plank. The torture is over. Yeah. We're sitting on the mat. We're just doing a little bit different core from a plank now. So your feet are on the mat. Knees are pointing up. Hands are behind your hips. Lift your legs into this forward position. Lift your arms on the side. Just feel steady there. And we'll start lowering one leg at a time, touching our toes on the floor. So the movement comes from the hip. And then you go back up. So you're lowering one leg at a time without changing the angle or the position. You're just moving again from the hip and from your core. If you find this hard, on your back especially, place your hands behind you and then just do it this way. If your hands on the floor is too easy, hands on the side, arms up. It's a bit of a ballerina thing here. I think the ballet and bar classes use this a lot. So, breathe in, and breathe out as you're doing this. Come back into steady position and lower everything just above the mat. Again, if this is too hard for your lower back, place your hands behind your hips and then just extend your legs this way. Make sure you engage your core because that is what is protecting your back. And then up again, and then down, and then up again, down, and up again. On the last one, stay as low as you can. Again, you can have your hands behind your back or you can have them lifted. And just engage your core and your glutes really tight here. If you want to do the, what you call the baby shark challenge, this is one of the positions. And then release everything down onto the mat and relax. Catch your breath. Bring your knees towards your chest. Hug them really tight. And then rock and roll from side to side. Or open up into a happy baby. You can smile here. And you can rock from side to side, or you can just stay still in this position. Then roll back onto a seated position. Cross your right leg over your left one. Place your foot on the mat. Hug your knee with your opposite end. And then open up to the back. Twisting your body and stretching to the left hand side. And then come back to center. Swapping legs. Left leg is up, hugging it with your right hand. Twisting the body to the left hand side. And then come back to center. Extend your legs in front of you. Promise this is the last one. And then slowly fold forward. You don't have to reach your feet, you don't have to reach your ankles. Just get the movement coming from your hips. This is the one, and if you have a strap, you can get the strap and wrap it underneath your feet. Or without the strap, just fold forward, getting the movement coming from here rather than rounding your back this way. Stay straight and then forward. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, try and push a little bit more forward, deepening the position. Now come back up. And then come onto your final lying position, your relaxation. Leave it on mat feet up there. Extend your legs in front of you. Extend your arms on the side of your body with your palms facing up. And as you get your breathing into a slower pace and a slower rhythm, I'm just gonna get the music for you to relax with. start moving your hands and your feet, wriggling your toes and your fingers, stretching your arms and your legs. And when you're ready, come back onto a seated position with your legs crossed. Take one more deep breath. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and everyone else today. And hands on your heart. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.